Got a deck profile here with Eamon, the man himself. He's playing Kozmos. Yeah, right. Go for it.
A fairly, not too incomplete Kozmo, but a couple of cards still needed. Firstly, the 3 Kozmo tin cans.
Yep.
It's your main searcher. The 1-for-1 target is always good.
Yep.
Main searcher. That's banish itself some of the higher level 1 from hand. All your Kozmos are higher level than 1, so it's always good to go into other Kozmos no matter what. 1 Strawman can recycle some of your banished psychic monsters just for. Oh no, let's actually recycle any of your banished monsters just for swinging for game.
Is he limited or you just play 1?
I just have 1.
Okay.
Yeah. You can summon the banished Dark Destroyer for extra 3k, even though it gets destroyed at end phase.
Yep.
Still has juice, pushing for extra damage. Sword Trooper, level 3, banish the cost to summon higher level ones, other ones, but pay 1,000, target a psychic, banish psychic Kozmo monster. You can bring it back without negating its effects and destroying it at the end phase. So you can bring back 10k, you can bring back Strawman, Farm Girl. It's probably your best target for it. We've got 2 Farm Girls. Farm Girls, once you inflict battle damage, you can pay 500 to search any Kozmo card. So you can search one of the higher level ones and then immediately store in battle phase, banish it, summon the higher level Kozmo from hand for pushing for damage and gaining effects. Really handy. Level 5s, we've got 3 Kozmo Slip Rider. It's a good mid-level Kozmo. You can summon either both ends of the scale from your psychics or the high level ones when they're destroyed. It pops a spell or trap in the field. You can pop your own stuff, you can pop your opponent's stuff. Respectable body of 2300 and floats into a smaller one on death. It's fairly useful.
Yeah. On does it do things in battle phase as well? Isn't it? Stop that?
No, so when they're destroyed by battle or card effects, they summon a lower level one from deck.
Okay.
So all the high level machines do that. And the lower level ones banish themselves for cost to summon one from hand. Last psychic one, Kozmo Dark Lady. 2200, banish summon a higher level one. You pay 1,000 to negate and destroy a monster card that activates. Has really good uses, stopping your opponent from doing plays. You can immediately tag out into something higher level after she's done her once per turn negate. It's always handy. And you can recycle her with Strawman or Dark Sword Troopers. And 1-off Landwalker, it's level 6, floats into a smaller one on death. If a Kozmo monster you control be destroyed, you can destroy another Kozmo card you control instead, so you can protect your board and destroy your Kozmo Town. The Kozmo Town gets you a search, so quite handy. Some decent protection and a respectable body of 2400. And a 1-off Forerunner. That gives you 1,000 life every one of your standby phases, so with all your Kozmo cards being paying life points in some degree, getting a little bit back is always nice. And yeah, on destruction floats into a smaller one. It's one of the better targets to go into after Dark Destroyer has been destroyed. Speaking of, 3 Dark Destroyers now that it's unlimited. Fairly good card. On summon, target a monster on field, pop it. 3 immunity to targeting. 3k wall, floats into a smaller Kozmo upon death. It's a very good Kozmo card and a very good boss monster in general in the deck. So, what's not to love? A 1-off Dark Eclipser and a 1-off Dark Planet. Dark Eclipser you'll see more often than the Dark Planet. Dark Eclipser, banish a Kozmo monster from grave, negate a trap. Dark Planet, banish a Kozmo from grave, negate a spell. Both have uses. The Dark Planet has to be special summoned by banishing level 10 level of Kozmo monsters from hand. So not as easy to get out, it's still useful. And they don't float on death, they only add a lower level Kozmo. Still has use, but not as useful as Dark Destroyer and the other ones. And after non-Kozmo, 2 Dark Scythe. Targets for your opponent to target with Twin Twisters or other back row removal and your own cards to destroy with Twin Twister or other back row. I'd like to have artifact sanctums to get it off more often, but currently I don't have any.
Don't have any, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't either. You got sights though.
still useful because it stops your opponent from playing out of the extra deck entirely for a turn, which is always handy and cripples a lot of decks. Hand traps, just the one Effect Veiler and 3 Ash Blossoms. Effect Veiler, so fairly self-explanatory. Target a monster on the field and negate its effects that turn. Fairly handy. Ash Blossom, same deal. Negate a summon or a search from deck, all of that. Always useful to stop your opponent and hopefully slow them down or stop them entirely. And if 1800 wall is nice enough, if you can't.
Yeah.
Then on to spells. 3 Kozmo Town. Fantastic fantastic field spell. It lets you recycle Kozmo monsters in hand by shuffling them back into the deck, drawing the same amount. If it's destroyed, you search a Kozmo card, which can search itself and play it again, and you target one of your banished Kozmo monsters, pay the life equal to its level times 100, add it back to hand. So I can recycle lots of your Kozmo stuff back really easily, and really very, very good field spell. And one terraforming to go along with it.
Yep.
Unfortunately, terraforming's only at
Yeah,
one.
it's at one now.
I consider running a metaverse if I free up a bit more room in this deck, but at the moment it's just the terraforming.
Yep. Yeah, Metaverse went to 1 too, didn't it?
Yeah, metaverse and terraforming both went to 1 for Mystic Mind.
Yeah, Mystic Mind.
It hurt a lot of decks. E-Telly.
Yeah.
Most of the psychics, most of the low-level ones that you run in the deck are psychic. So Farm Girl, Tin Can, Straw Man, all of them are psychics. So summon this, get your an additional card on field, usually Farm Girl if you swing for game. Summon a Farm Girl, attack, gain a search, banish it because it'll be destroyed in the end phase. Summon another thing, very useful.
Can be used if you have Ghost Ogre in your side deck.
Can be used if you have Ghost Ogre in your side deck. Very handy card. Still suffers dash and whatnot, but
Yeah.
half the things do. So, but yeah, very good in the deck. 1 for 1, just more ways to get into Tin Can quickly. Tin Can is the start of all good Kozmo cards and all good Kozmo combos. As it is your main searcher. Now, only one of it because 1 for 1 is limited.
Yep.
Yep, so no problem. And 1 singular reasoning.
Yep.
Reasoning is a fantastic card in the deck because all your monsters are different levels. And all of them except 1 can be normal summoned.
Yeah.
So reasoning is a fantastic card because it'll summon most of the monsters that you have in the entirety of your deck. Unless they happen to get lucky and call the number.
Yep.
So, great card for the deck. Singular Impermanence. We'd like to run more of them, but the single one at the moment is still nice.
Yep.
Ash Blossom on your opponent's turn, set it, and it also negates, and then everything in that column. Fantastic trap. Searchable with Trap Trick if you happen to have those. Good thing. And 2 Cosmojos. Cosmojo is you destroy a Kozmo monster that you control, non-targeted banish one of your opponent's cards from either field or graveyard. Really powerful because non-targeted banish, non-targeting removal is always nice. Unfortunately, you have to get rid of one of your own Kozmo cards, but it's better than losing the entire duel if you just lose 1 card to stop one very particular play. Out one specific monster. It's a good card. And the searchable off Farm Girl.
Oh yeah, nice.
And yeah, Farm Girl. 2 summon limits. Cosmos don't usually summon more than twice in a turn, especially after their first turn.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, you don't really need to worry about the effects of summon limit unless you're trying to swing for game, in which case you'll probably pop your own summon limit with either Twin Twisters, Dust Tornado, or Slip Rider.
Yep.
So yeah, stopping your opponent from playing is always good. And speaking of which, a Heavy Storm Duster. Set it, activate it in your opponent's turn. You probably won't be activating it on your turn as something in battle phase. Destroy 2 on field. Pop your own pop your own Kozmo Town. Pop your own Scythe. Pop your own Summon Limit if you need to, or pop 2 of your opponent's problematic cards. Good card in the deck. And then finally, the Solemn Package.
Yeah, the Solemn Package.
2 strikes, 1 warning.
Yep.
I'd like to have a Judgment in there for these sort of all-round can negate anything. The strikes only sort of stop special summon and monster effects, whereas warning stops cards activating that do summon. So both useful in their own rights, but
Why don't you play a Judgment then?
I don't have a judgment.
Oh,
Honestly, I need to get my hands on them now that they're unlimited. But they're fantastic cards for the deck. And yeah, at some stage, if I get my hands on them.
Alright, that's it. Oh, no, extra deck, yeah.
Side deck.
Totally. I think Cosmos wouldn't even need an extra deck.
You don't need an extra deck, though. If Desires is a very common thing you can run in Cosmos, just because you don't need an extra deck. You can afford to run Desire for extra draw power.
Yep.
So, 2 Sphere mode, get through some of your opponent's problematic boards like Guard Dragon or Endymion. All of that is always handy. And hopefully after you've set up your board, you don't need the normal summon. You lose from the Sphere modes. And then it comes back to you and just sits as a wall, so handy enough. Called by the Graves, self-explanatory. Banish your opponent's hand traps or key cards that they need to get out of the graveyard. Nice card. Useful in most situations as a side. 2 Ghost Ogres. Ghost Ogre, pop any card that activates a continuous thing that activates a field, so monster effects or continuous spells and traps. Good card, good against pendulum decks, pop the scales and they activate it, good against most monsters that activate. Destroy, get rid of the problematic card, very handy.
It's good for a lot of things,
Yeah, good for a lot of situations. 2 Twin Twisters. More back row removal now that people are running more pendulum and back row these days. It's not long
and Mystic Mind is always sometimes get used in Salamander grade as well.
They're useful enough to stop any cards, any back row heavy decks, especially pendulums. And 3 anti-spells. If you, as Cosmos, don't play a lot of too many spells after your turn. If you do, then they're quick play spells you'll probably be activating in your opponent's turn. So it doesn't delay you in the long run. And the opponent can't play pendulum scales, can't play spells, they have to set them first and activate them in their next turn. So it slows lots of things down. Very handy. 1 back to the front at the moment. There's some of your Cosmos would just eventually be sent into grave, especially if you have Tin Can that's been out long enough. Just keep sending. This can just revive them back.
And they float. Most of them float all on death as well. So.
Yeah, most of them float on death, but they have to be destroyed by some means beforehand. Because in the grave, it's really hard to access your Cosmos.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because you can't. Because they have to. Usually, when they're destroyed, they banish themselves immediately.
Oh, okay.
So you can get them back once they vanish, but you can't get them back easily when they're in the grave. So there's some stuff like Call of the Haunted helps a lot getting them back so that they can eventually be banished so you can get them back again and continue the cycle. And then finally 2 Honests. So half your Cosmos are light, the other half are dark, so Farm Girl and all your lower level Cosmos are all, most of them are light, so it's very handy to use this to get over problematic cards with your lower level Cosmos and get a nice surge off of Farm Girl. Because no matter what, you activate an Honest attack into anything, you'll be dealing battle damage to activate Farm Girl's effect. Very nice. And even some of your higher level ones are still light, like Forerunner is a light 2800, so still good damage out there if you need to get over stuff. And yeah, that's a current Cosmo deck profile.
Cool. Thank you very much. Eamon, have a good day.
You too. Thank you.